Hi everyone, you're welcome to my channel. If this is your first time of seeing me, my name is Raphael. Are you ready to boost your project management skills and earn a globally recognized certification for free? If yes, in this course I will take you through the HP Live Agile Project Management Certification, a free course designed to help you master your agile methodologies. Whether you are a beginner or an expert looking to enhance your expertise, I will take you through the course content step by step, and at the end of the course you would have learned how to identify and define a minimum viable product, also called MVP, and understand the differences between iterative and incremental product development. The core of Agile itself, that's the 4 values and the 12 founding principles that guide successful Agile teams, and you will get hands-on experience with powerful tools like Scrum and Kanban. These are popular agile methodologies to help you manage tasks, improve communication, and deliver results efficiently. We will also identify the benefits and limitations of agile methodologies like Scrum and Kanban. We will have some few exercises, and finally, how to assess your certification from HP Live and free materials for continuous reading, courtesy HP Incorporation and HP Live Foundation. Let's get started. Now, let's start from the basics. What is a project? A project is a temporary effort undertaken to create a unique product, service, or a result. It has a clear start and end, specific goals, and defined deliverables. So let's look at these keywords. Now, we said a project is a temporary effort undertaken. That's one, to create a unique product, service, or results. It has a clear start and end date, specific goals, and defined deliverables. So that in essence means anything we do or carry out that is temporary and it has a need to deliver a result, an outcome, and it will be done within a period of time, and it has a set of goals or deliverables that will be delivered. That endeavor is called a project. For instance, there are some activities we carry out that are not projects. For instance, in an organization, the activities you carry out on customer service, yes, they have an expectation, they have deliverables, they have goals, but because they are not done within a period of time, because they are continuous, those are called business as usual, BAU. So for any endeavor to be a project, it must be temporary, having a start and a finish date. It will deliver a result. It has a clear goal and what to be delivered. So for instance, we want to build a software. What do we want to do? We want to build a software. So that is the goal. And the software we want to deliver, what would be the things that will be delivered? We want to deliver a software where people will be able to learn easily. So the features that will make people learn easily are the deliverables of that software. And we want to start working on the software today, and we want to finish in 3 months' time. So you can see it has a start and an end date. So you can see how a project is being defined from its definition. So any activities that does not have this underlining criteria of words, as we have explained, is not a project. So for example, building an app, launching a marketing campaign, or organizing an event, all are projects because they have a finite and a goal-oriented definition. Now, project management methodologies. There are different ways or method a project can be carried out or managed. And we have the predictive, which is also called the waterfall, as we can see here. And we also have the agile, which is the subject of our short course. Now, what is a predictive project management methodology? It is a methodology that planning is done upfront. Each phase from design, development, testing is completed in sequence, best for projects with stable and predictable requirements. So, for instance, for every stage of the project, like planning, like initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and controlling, then closing, every phase is done in sequence. That is, we have to finish all of this before we can do all of this, before we can do all of this, before we can do all of this. So planning is done upfront. Planning is done upfront, as we can see, and it is done in step. We have to finish the planning phase, then we move to the execution phase, then we move to monitoring and control phase, then we move to the closing phase. Unlike agile, plans evolves. So in agile, work is delivered in sprints. We deliver it in bits. So let's say this is sprint 1, this is sprint 2, this is sprint 3, and this is sprint 4. So we deliver in sprints, in bits, with continuous feedback. So when we deliver S1, sprint 1, we gather feedback and improve the next sprint with the feedback we have gathered. By the time we deliver this, we learn from this, we gather feedback from users, from stakeholders, then we improve the next one. So that is how it works in agile. So whilst we are building, we are planning. So it is ideal for projects with changing or unclear requirements. So for instance, the waterfall or predictive is suitable for a building project. We want to build a duplex. We want to build a we want to build a duplex. We want to build a 3-bedroom flat. Now, every planning we need to do as we build may not necessarily change, because we know upfront what we want to do and we have a plan for it. And the waterfall is also suitable for projects that depend solely on government regulatory bodies. If you depend on government approval, regulatory bodies approval, you can't just change anything at any time. You have to raise a change request. The change request has to be approved through the change control. So you don't just change anything. But in agile, we have the flexibility to change as we build. So basically, that's the difference between the predictive, also called waterfall, and the agile methodology of project management. But our core of discussion in this course is the agile methodologies. Now, predictive versus agile methodology are the practical differences. So the main difference between agile and waterfall project management is that agile is flexible and iterative, while waterfall is rigid and sequential. So it's in sequence, this. So I have to finish this, I do this, I do this before I get the end result. But in Agile, I could get a set result from every sprint or iteration. I get a result here, 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 and all gives me a full system of results. But in this case, I don't get a result until I finish, as it were. It's a start to finish kind of approach. So let's look at the two images. The first one, that is this, shows a kind of a predictive approach. Someone wants to have his hair cut, and as you can see, there's no mirror there, and he's saying, I want to scrape all of the hair on my head. That is what he wants. He wants to scrape everything. Now, the barber has a plan on how he wants to scrape all the hair, and the person being barbed does not even bother or will not bother looking at the mirror, because what he wants is results at the end of the endeavor of barbing, which is to scrape all the hair off. So the barber starts, he scrapes everything, and then he gives the man a mirror to look at, and the man is either happy or is telling him, maybe when he gets home and he checks and there is a leftover of hair here, he said, wow, this barber made a mistake, he left some hair here. So this man needs to trek down to the barber or wait until his hair is fully grown again. When he goes back, then he tells the barber, oh, the last time I came, you left some pieces of hair here. Why? Because it was a start to finish approach. They were not inspecting when they were doing the building project of the hair or making the hair. It was just a start to finish thing. And when you finish and discover there's an error, you can see that it is expensive to change in this kind of methodology. But in the other one, which is the Agile description, you can see that the style that this guy wants to barb is a bit kind of not a start to finish thing. Is inspecting, checking the mirror, how the barber is trimming this side, putting the line, adjusting the bears, and the person being barbed could say, hi, please, this place is too down, can you please adjust it? The barber does what? Goes there with his clipper, adjusts that area. What is he doing? Is inspecting and adapting. So both the barber and the person that is being barbed can inspect, can check what they are doing, and they are making changes as they are doing it. So in a methodology like this, there will be less error. At the end of the day, both the person that is being barbed and is barbing will end up being happy, because there's an agreement when they were working, and what is being produced or delivered is as a result of their mutual understanding and agreements. So the main difference between Agile and Waterfall project management methodologies is that Agile is flexible and iterative, while Waterfall is rigid and sequential. We will understand better as we dive in deeper into Agile methodologies. Now, predictive versus Agile methodology. These are a list of differences, and the first one on my list is the approach. Agile is iterative, just as we said in the last slide, with regular feedback intervals, while Waterfall is linear and sequential, as I explained. So planning Agile planning is iterative and evolves as the project progresses, while waterfall planning is done upfront and changes are not easily accommodated. To make changes in waterfall project management methodology, you need to raise a change request. So sometimes this takes time because it needs to go through approval, change control, and a whole lot. But in Agile, the team, the users, the stakeholders can just come together, decide on a change to be made, and immediately it is being effected and incorporated on, and immediately it is being implemented and development continues. Now, execution. Agile execution is easily adaptable with frequent reassessments and changes, while waterfall execution follows the initial plan closely and doesn't entertain modification easily. So, in Agile, you can all agree on a change, make the change, check if the change suits or meets what you're changing it for. If it doesn't, you can still request for a change. It's just amongst you, the developers, stakeholders, and the users. You agree again. You keep changing until what you want is being achieved or obtained. But in waterfall, there's an initial plan. After the first stage of initiation, you move to the planning phase where you plan everything that will be done or carried out during the projects in that phase. So when you are in the execution phase or the monitoring and controlling phase and you need to change something, now it is not easy going back to the planning phase to replan everything. Then you need to raise a change control, which in essence will bring a lot of changes to other things. It could bring change to the scope, it could also change the cost and also the time. So it is dependent on so many things. So change or changes are a bit difficult in the waterfall methodology. Now, deployment. Agile deployments happen more frequently than in waterfall, with each incremental change deployed separately. So in waterfall, multiple changes deployed together simultaneously. But in Agile, as I said earlier, is in sprints, is in increments, is in iteration. So this can be increment 1 or sprint 1, increment 2, increment 3, and increment 4. So Agile deployment happens more frequently. We have deployed this, we have released this. This is an increment. We have released this. This is another increment. We have released this. This is another increment. We have released this. This is another increment. So change deployed separately, and as we are moving on with our deployment, we are making improvements, we are making changes. But in waterfall, it is not like that. Now, the next one is flexibility. Agile is known for its flexibility and adaptability. Just as I said the other time during the illustration, that the person being barbed in the Agile scene was inspecting and adapting. So in Agile, you inspect what you're doing and adapt it to the results you want to see, the result you want to get. So Agile is known for its flexibility and adaptability, while waterfall is known to be more rigid and stricter in terms of process structure. And finally, client involvement. Waterfall projects limit client environments, which might exclude external clients and stakeholders. But in Agile, you go and meet the users. You could invite the users. You go and meet the stakeholders. You could invite the stakeholders. Everybody comes for a test. Everybody comes for a sprint review. Everybody comes to check. Ask the users, what do you feel? Stakeholders, this is how the system works now. Do you like it? Is it meeting your needs? Oh, it's not meeting your needs. Can we adapt it to meet your needs? Everybody comes for an inspection. Everybody can inspect, but in the waterfall, it is only the project team and some very few stakeholders that are involved in the project. It is after the project has been finished or concluded that the users are being invited or are able to use the project. What if it doesn't meet their needs? Then you start changing. But when you build with the users in mind, when you build together with the users, just like the other guy was barbing and the person being barbed was looking at what was being done, and they were both collaborating, they were both talking, they were both agreeing, discussing, and at the end of the day, he has a nice haircut both of them agreed to have. So basically, these are the differences between the predictive and the agile methodology. We'll dive deeper into the agile methodology in the HP Lives platform. See you then.